Good morning, friends. It's Saturday. It's 8 a.m. I'm in my pajamas. I got bedhead. And welcome back to the channel. Let's get into this week's video. Stick around until the end because I'm going to have a little sit-down conversation with all of you about what's happening in the world right now and my thoughts on it. So I hope to see you at the end of this video. Stay tuned. Peace. Stop eating my boots, mister. Okay? Come on. Why is Lanka in a shirt?
Because he has ointment on his belly for a little rash, and I thought maybe this would help.
It's better than a cone
to
of
keep
shame.
him from licking. All right.
This is an important moment, huh?
This is an important moment, but they are so ready. And Wilson's pretty excited about it. He's enthusiastic about this moment.
No.
Hey, Wilson!
Hey, he's eating the apple. Okay. No, he took a big bite out of it.
Did he?
Yeah.
Wilson! You can have that one then. There's so many. Here, buddy. Hey, now you don't want it? Here.
Put it on the ground.
Wilson. Better eat that one. You took a bite out of it.
That's my boots.
He's in a mood. Lanka, stop sniffing Wilson's booty.
Friends, we have apples. Johnny Appleseed would be proud. We got lots of different types of apples, and we're in here. We actually are leaving town tomorrow, but we don't want to leave these on the tree much longer because they're gonna get eaten. We also got pears over here, which I don't know, are those? There's only one way to find out. No, those are not ready. No. These are falling off too, so they are.
What are those?
These are pears.
Different type of pear?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Look, they're falling off.
What kind of pear is this?
Yeah, pear.
That's not pear.
Yeah, it is.
It's a type of pear.
Look, there's little like sluggy things eating them.
I know, same with these ones.
We should get them off. So earlier in the late spring, I put these bird protection nets over most of the trees, and worked pretty well. But it's time to take them off. They've done their purpose, and you know, I don't think the trees really enjoy it, to be honest. It's not super detrimental, but if you leave it on for too long, they don't like it. So we'll take it off. And plenty of pears on this tree. Okay. These little pears are perfect. You know, in many ways, this is one of the things that I was most excited about when we moved here nearly 6 months ago. When we first saw the property, we saw the orchard, and we were just so excited. There's just so much. Hey, come on over. Our neighbors are awesome. Hey friends, it's Saturday morning, and you know, this week my wife and I took a little retreat. We have been at the homestead for pretty much the last 6 months, working every single day to try to renovate this place and make it feel like our home, fixing some of the things that needed fixing. And after 6 months of nonstop renovations, we felt like we needed a little retreat. So we headed up to a nice little thermal area where we stayed at a Airbnb. It was really, really nice. Lots of soaking, beautiful stream, some fly fishing.
Whoa, I feel like we just got to like Africa or something. We're like, this is amazing. It's like a little jungle. Our own little private jungle retreat.
You are the queen of finding Airbnbs.
I am. I will say, like, I can find them. Gotta read the reviews. Glamping. There's a heater, a little couch. This is lovely.
Drifting down for a long time now. Drifting down for a long time now. Somewhere, somehow, I'll find my way. I can't think right now, no, don't have the words to say. I love you, yeah. I love you, yeah. And when we came back, we saw that the world had changed. We didn't have any cell service, didn't use our phones for 3 days, and when we turned them back on, we saw that Russia had invaded Ukraine. And that in itself is incredibly dismaying. It's a conflict that has the potential to grow into a much larger conflict. And, you know, I think that many of us have been living, my generation, let me just say it like this. My generation, I was born in 1988. The Soviet Union dissolved in 1991, and for pretty much one of the longest periods of time in recent modern history, we've had peace, generally speaking. Small-scale conflicts have happened around the world, but we haven't had a big global war. And there hasn't been a large land war in Europe for a long time, since the Second World War. Obviously, you've got smaller conflicts like the Balkans and stuff, but generally speaking, we've lived through a long period of peace. And what happens, I think, is that it's easy to become complacent with that when it's the only thing that we've known. But what we have known has been a statistical outlier in history. And I think it's important now to be aware and alert of what's happening in the world around us. This community on this channel, as well as the community on my previous channel, was built around a feeling of interconnectedness, global community. And so I think it's really important right now to pay attention to what's happening in the Ukraine, and to do what we can to push for peace. Now, it's a complicated situation, and it's just starting, and none of us know what's going to happen. And that's always scary. I think in times like these, obviously if you're in Ukraine, my heart goes out to you. If you have friends or family, loved ones in Ukraine, our thoughts and prayers are with you. But for those of us who are on the sidelines watching, it's important to pay attention, but it's also important to protect your inner peace. And, this conflict coming on top of 2 years of a global pandemic, rising inflation, all sorts of problems that seem to just keep coming. It's becoming clear, in my opinion, that one of the most important things we can do is to protect our space, protect our inner equilibrium, because without it, we can't do any good. And, it's in times like these that I think it's important to think globally, but to act locally, because it's all too easy to get disillusioned when you're trying to act globally. Affecting change on a global scale is a Goliath task. It's huge. And as individuals, it's oftentimes difficult for us to affect global change in a meaningful way. And that's why, over the last few years, I've really started to learn that it's important to think globally, but to act locally, because on a local scale, we as individuals can affect change. So I implore you to do what you can in your local community to try to help with what's happening globally. I'm going to link some places that I feel could use donations in this period of time. If you're interested in learning more about what's happening, I read a book a few years ago called The Prisoners of Geography. And it's a really great book. I'll link it down in the description. It essentially explains the geopolitical friction zones around the world, areas where the author believes conflicts might begin. And one of them in that book that was mentioned extensively was Ukraine. This book was written in 2015. So it'll give you a lot of insights into what's happening and why it's happening, why, Putin and Russia made these moves and began this war. I actually just bought the sequel to the book, The Power of Geography, which I've just started reading. But, these two books are really great assets to try to understand why nation states make the moves that they do around the world. and trying to understand, making sense of this wild world that we live in. Just wanted to talk about that briefly. I don't feel that, you know, making a video this week without addressing what's happening is tasteful. Obviously, having a platform, I feel an obligation to talk about things that matter when things that matter are happening. So, you know, if you're still here, if you're still listening, I appreciate you taking the time to listen to my thoughts, and I hope that you're doing well in these difficult times. And just to kind of lighten things up towards the end of this video, we'll do a quick little rundown of what's happening here on the homestead and what you can expect in the next few weeks regarding content. We have just harvested from our orchard, as you saw in the beginning of this video. We will be learning about canning a lot of the fruit, but we're also going to be doing something super fun, which Carrie and I are quite excited about. We will be making our own cider. We bought a apple press, and we will be documenting our experiments in making cider. And as you can see, I'm actually standing underneath a grape vine, and we're gonna have a lot of grapes. So, wow, yeah, those are ready. If you have any recipes for homemade wine, let us know. Probably do some jams with these too, but we got a lot of grapes here. So that's coming. And then on the renovation front, our biggest project yet begins on Monday. Today's Saturday. So we will be diving into renovations of our bathroom here on the homestead. The bathroom, it's, yeah, one of the most needed renovations, and it's a big one. But we have all of our new appliances all here, and on Monday we will begin demolition and renovation of the bathroom. So that's a big project. It's probably going to take a few weeks, maybe longer. Depends, because we are sourcing individual contractors, and we're going to be doing a lot of the demolition ourselves. But we have plumber, plasterer, and tiler coming in to help bring this all together in the most professional way possible. So that's all happening here on the homestead. Whoa, my birthday is coming up. We'll probably take a little road trip, caravan road trip for my birthday. And yeah, we're also planning on hopefully getting out and doing some tramping, some backpacking in the mountains around here, and potentially down south if we can squeeze in for a great walk. So that's what's happening here on the homestead. And, you know, obviously, I know that this week's video is a little disjointed. Please forgive that. It's been a wild week in which we took some time off and then came back to a large global event happening. So I'm wishing all of you out there the best. Stay sane, stay positive, and protect your mental space. But yeah, I'm sending you all the best wishes, and I appreciate you all here. So thank you for taking some time with me this weekend, and we will check in with you next week with the beginning of the biggest project yet. So stay tuned. Sending lots of love to all of you out there. Peace.